Alrighty, guys. So it's about 8:40 a.m. right now on the East Coast. We have a little bit less than an hour left until the market opens, and as of now, the futures are looking pretty good, pretty decent. We have the Nasdaq futures up 0.6%, Russell's up 0.7%, the S&P's up 0.6%, and we have the Dow futures up 0.5% as the VIX is moving down a little bit, and we have the metals moving up as well. Silver's up over 23 an ounce, up 1.1%, as we have gold up roughly 0.2%, and it's creeping up over 1,800 an ounce. So in this video, we're going to quickly break down the markets and see what's going on this morning as we're heading into the open, and then we're going to go over stocks I'm looking at today, charts, all that good stuff. So sit back, relax, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe if you guys want daily stock market content. This is the place for you. And I'm not sure if you saw, Moo is doing a 20 stock promo. If you guys want 20 stocks, each up to $2,000, use that link down below, deposit at least $100, and you get some free stocks. It also helps out the channel. I appreciate you all, as always. And with that being said, let's just dive into the video. So right now, again, the futures are moving up, which is a very good sign for the bulls. And the fact that SPY right now is bouncing, not only just consolidating, but now bouncing off of the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, that is a very good sign as well. The fact that we consolidated above it a little bit on, was that Tuesday, right? Yeah, that was on Tuesday. And then yesterday we consolidated above it about 390, 392. And now we're starting to break out. We're taking the highs out from intraday yesterday. We're actually breaking out of the highs from the end of the day on Wednesday as well, which were right around, or not Wednesday, on Tuesday, which were right around 394-ish. So we're starting to break out of some key levels here. We're not fully breaking out. Don't get it twisted, guys. We're not completely breaking out. Excuse me, but SPY is showing some pretty good signs here. It is showing some pretty good signs in the short term that bulls are fighting at this point, which, let's be honest, let's be completely honest here. If they fail at this point, it's going to be ugly. If the bulls fail at this point, it is going to be ugly. So let's see if Triple Q, if the bulls are fighting on this one as well. Let's take a look. I'm sure they are, right? Yeah, right around 280 is where we've seen a big support, 278. Now this thing's pushing back over $282, and it looks like it is breaking out of the highs from yesterday. That's actually as of just a couple of minutes ago. So this looks good, guys. It's taking out the highs from yesterday barely. I mean, we're taking it out by a couple pennies right now. Again, as of a couple minutes ago, at least a couple minutes prior to me filming this video. So that's good. Is it above the highs from the end of the day Tuesday like SPY is? Yeah, it actually is. It's creeping above those highs as well. So this looks like, obviously, it's not fully reversing. And there goes Siri again. My goodness, guys. What the heck? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm hitting this button while I'm recording. I don't know why she keeps talking. Either way, where was I? You know, it's not obviously fully reversing by any stretch of the imagination, but it is clearly, bulls are showing signs of support at this level, which, like I've said many times in the past couple of days, if Triple Q fails at 278, 280, it's going to be ugly. Let's just put it that way. It is going to be ugly, in my opinion. So let's see silver quickly. I want to look at this chart because silver has just been on fire. I mean, look at this. We broke out of 22 an ounce, ran to about 23.60, pulled down, you guys see that, to about 22.15, and now we're back over 23, just like that. Back over 23 an ounce and up about 0.9% on the day thus far, which is pretty impressive. And in my opinion, I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past many times, as we all have. Nobody's freaking perfect out there, right? But you know, if silver does break 23.70, I think it's going to rip towards that 26 mark, maybe even higher. I could be wrong again, but that's just my take on silver. So as for stocks today, guys, again, we have a pretty big day ahead of ourselves in terms of earnings. Finally, some fun companies worth looking at least for me, guys. It's been a pretty, obviously earnings season's over for the most part, and it's been usually the best content to make is during earnings season and leading up to it. Of course, we have the Fed. You know, you can make content about the Fed, but I love talking about stocks and earnings way more than I like talking about the Fed. That's just me, though. And usually during earnings season is when, the content is just flowing, guys. But right now it's a little bit of a dry. It's been a little bit of a dry spell. But for earnings. But now we're starting to get some today. We're starting to get some. We have Costco today. We have Lululemon. We have Broadcom. We have DocuSign, Chewy, and then we have RH, which I didn't write the numbers down for RH, but we'll talk about them later when the actual numbers come out. And by numbers, I mean I didn't write the estimates down, but we'll cover it later on today. So make sure you guys subscribe because we will be breaking down what these companies actually report. So let's run through this quickly because I did already break this down on Sunday. Typically every Sunday on the channel, we go over, the game plan for the upcoming week, what's there to look at, what's on the calendar, what stocks I'm looking at, what earnings are coming up, what's big with the Fed, any big meetings, right? Things like that. So I did break these numbers down on Sunday, but to quickly refresh your memory because it is Thursday, and let's be honest, these days there's content all over, so you're probably forgetting things that I said on Sunday, which even I'm forgetting things I said forget about Sunday yesterday. But either way, guys, Costco, they're looking to do EPS of $3.11 on revenue of $54.7 billion, which would be up about 8.6% year over year. So that's one worth watching for sure today, as if we're looking at the chart, bulls are, on this one, holding on by a thread as well. I mean, look at this. We're holding a higher low, barely. And if this falls under this trend line, man, it's probably going to start collapsing. And for me, I actually want that. I want that because Costco is a company. I've talked about it so many times on the channel, guys, but I'll say it again. It is a stock that I've never owned. Sure, maybe I've traded it. Definitely have traded it over the years a couple times, but have I owned it as a long-term investment? I have not. It's because the price has not gotten to a point where I want to pick it up. It's always trading at a premium, and hopefully, these earnings, I mean, if you guys already own the stock, I'm sorry that I'm going to say this, but hopefully that the stock, I'm hoping the stock comes down a good amount here. Maybe not after earnings on a single, like a 20% drop after earnings, but over the next couple of months, heading into the new year, I'm looking to see if this comes down even more. If it comes under 400, I'll probably be buying, especially in the low 400s. Now that I'm looking at it, maybe looking back to where it was a couple of months ago, I'm thinking like maybe I should have nibbled a little bit, but we'll see. Patience, hopefully patience pays off. Maybe we do get a price under 400 at some point, which for me, that's where I'd really like to start going heavier on Costco, or heavy because I don't own it. So I can't go heavier, but heavy, and I'll start buying. We'll see. We'll see. Of course, I'll update you guys on the channel as always. So Lululemon's also reporting today. Their stock is looking pretty good. I mean, this thing broke out of 350, which was the high from a couple months ago. Now we're clearly riding the moving averages. We're well above the 180 moving average, and now in the pre-market, it looks like it's up a couple of bucks here. So it looks like Lululemon wants to go and test 385. I think, honestly, we could even break that point, which 385 was the high from the beginning of this month. And if that were to break 400, 410, 415, that could be in the cards. But, of course, with earnings coming up after the bell, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. This could be moving all over the place. And me personally, guys, I'm not gambling on earnings. I used to do that when I was a younger trader, right? When I first started out, was in the gambling phase. I used to do that all the time, and I used to talk about that all the time on the channel, and I've mentioned on the channel all the time that I used to do the earnings plays, and I haven't done that in a long time because I learned my lesson. I've made money, lost money. It's just not sustainable, at least for me, trying to gamble on earnings, and for that reason, I just wait until earnings come out now. And, we'll see where it goes from there. And, that's how I've been doing it. So Lululemon EPS looking to be $1.96 on revenue of $1.81 billion, which would be up 24% year over year. So look for Lulu to still grow pretty decently. That's kind of what I'm looking at here for this quarter. We also have AVGO, which is Broadcom. This one's looking decent on the chart as well, despite the fact that it is a little bit below the 50 SMA, but as long as it's holding above 480, 500, 520, bulls are in charge. We have earnings after the bell. They're looking to do EPS of $10.28 on revenue of $8.9 billion, which would be up 20% year over year. Let's see how that ends up turning out. We can see here, okay, you could argue this is the trend that I just drew out. If that breaks, we might run down to about 480. But then again, if it comes down to 480, Bulls are still in charge, right above this 180 SMA. I think buyers could be coming in at that point. So keep your eyes on AVGO. DocuSign's another one that I think it's a Kathy Wood favorite. I mean, does she still own this? I have no idea. I have not looked at her alerts in a long time. I have not went on their website in a long time, to be honest. I used to have, you guys remember those alerts that ARC would send out every day? You can sign up and see what they're doing, you know, how they're shifting their positions, because they are an actively traded mutual or ETF, right? So yeah, I used to look at that all the time, but I unsubscribed, you know, like 2 years ago at this point, probably. Nah, maybe not 2 years ago, maybe like a year and a half ago. So I don't know. Does she own Docu still? If I had to guess, probably. DocuSign's down 85% from all-time highs, which is insane, and you all can see here on the 4-hour chart, it is nowhere near a reversal. I mean, this is a stock that we've seen other stocks out there reverse a little bit, see little runs. This has not really seen any rallies, substantial rallies, other than the little mini relief rallies within the downtrend, which is completely natural for any stock out there. So this is one that's just been destroyed. They're looking to do 42 cents in EPS on revenue of $626 million roughly, which would be up 15%. So their growth has come down a lot. And it's one that I'm not really interested in, but I'm still going to be watching it because they're reporting, obviously. And it's one of those stocks. It's not a hype stock per se, but it's one of those that people track. They want to see what's going on with it, of course, because it was one of those high flyers during the pandemic, right? So Chewy's another one that we're seeing a bit of a double top here at about $46, but at the same time, bulls are fighting to hold this trend line that I just drew out. You guys see that? So ultimately, in my opinion, you know, if this thing breaks 45, okay, we have a wide open gap to, you know, 50-52, like I've been saying about the stock. But is it going to get to 45? That's the $1 million question. Right now, it's consolidating right around 41.50, 42, right at the trend line here. Now we just have to see this thing start to move past, I'd say, 42 initially, maybe a little bit past that. So I'm going to set my alert at mark is at or above $42. Let's do that. And the last one, which I don't have any numbers on, I almost forgot to mention, Chewy's looking to do -9 cents EPS on revenue of $2.46 billion, up 11%. Not too bad, but of course, growth has come down in a major way. The last one here is RH.com, Restoration Hardware, which they report today after the bell, and this stock has been pretty flat. I mean, this thing has been sideways since May at this point, which is pushing 7 months. Yeah, 7 months ago. It's been pretty flat between $220 to about, well, I guess there has been some movement. I mean, it's been trading from 220 to 300, which I guess is a pretty wide range. But you know, it's been a flat range. It's been trading horizontally, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. You guys see that right here. So I'm not really going to touch this until we get some direction. You know, I'd love to see this thing start moving past 300 again, 310, but we are a ways away from that, to be honest. We are a ways away from that. And the fact that we're putting in lower highs here, heading into earnings, look at this. One low, lower high, boom, boom. And this could be another one. This is not looking that great, technically, honestly. I mean, this could be setting up for a dump again. But we'll see. Again, I'm not gambling on earnings anymore, guys. I used to do that years ago. But now I'm just going to wait till they come out and see how the numbers look, guidance, all that good stuff. So if you enjoyed the video, I'm going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And if you haven't checked out my second channel, Stocks Talks Money, make sure to subscribe. I'll leave that link down below. And you could also get up to 20 stocks from Moomoo with at least a $100 deposit using that link down below as well. And each of those stocks could be up to $2,000. I'll catch you all in the next video. I appreciate you all watching. As always, peace out.